Hello guys, this is IP Tech here and I'm back with another video in my Tech Alert series. This one's gonna be about the AMD and some of the announcements they made on their Capsaicin event at GDC 2016. There are more topics to cover than this, which I will save for our next video, like the Polaris demo AMD's GPU roadmap. But for this video I'll focus on the unveiling of the AMD Pro Duo, which is their Dual Fiji GPU that was announced a while back, and the Sulon Q, which is an all-in-one AR/VR headset with the computer powering it actually built inside the system. First we have the Pro Duo, which AMD said will cost $1,500, which is very overpriced in my opinion, as it's basically two Fury X GPUs on the same board, at least on specs that is, and a single Fury X will set you back $650, so it would make more sense that the Pro Duo would cost more like $1,300 and not $1,500, but let's look at the spec sheet first, and we would talk about why possibly the price is so high. So on specs, the Pro Duo features 16 teraflops of compute performance, which AMD touted in a couple of tweets. They mentioned the 16 teraflops of compute power, which is basically double the Fury X's, which only had about 8 teraflops of compute power. It also has 4096 stream processors, 256 texture units, and 64 ROP units per core, meaning it's basically the same as the Fury X's, but 2 of them, and it's running at 1 GHz effective. So this matches pretty much the specs of the Fury X, except the clock speeds is a bit lower. But yeah, where it gets interesting is with the TDP. It says it's having a max TDP of 350 watts, which is a lot less than expected, as the Fury X, a single one, has a TDP of 275 watts. So this TDP is more like the Fury Nano, which has only a TDP of 175 watts. So this could mean that the Pro Duo actually comprises of 2 Fury Nanos and not Fury X's, but the Fury Nanos are basically the same as the Fury X, as they do feature the full Fiji core, but it's specially binned by AMD for having lower power consumption and just lower TDP in general. But the Fury Nanos, as I said before, it was also clocked lower, and we can see that in the Pro Duo's clock speed of 1 GHz, which is the clock speed of the Nano as well. And the Nano did have some power throttling issues, so we could possibly see the Pro Duo having those as well, which could mean that it won't be reaching that 1 GHz speed under consistent high loads. The card also has 3 8-pin PCIe connectors, where each one has a max power draw of I think 225 watts. So the max one is about 500 or 600 watts, so it's a bit inconsistent with the 350 TDP, but that can mean that they're just, you know, the TDP is not actually, it's probably going to draw more than 350 watts under load. And this 350 watts TDP is also lower than their previous dual graphics card, the R9 295X2, which had a TDP of 500 watts. So I don't know what the actual TDP went up in the end, like what the actual power draw is gonna be, but we just have to see once like review samples get out to tech channels and we get actual reviews of the product, if AMD actually gives out any review samples, which is very unlikely. As I said, this card will have very limited warranty and a very limited availability, and they're not known for giving out a lot of review samples like with the previous Fury X, for example. And another interesting thing about the AMD Pro Duo is the actual target audience of this card. AMD has decided to market this card for content creation, especially VR content creation with their Liquid VR integration. So this card is not targeted at the consumer or enthusiast market, which could explain the price tag, as a developer market and VR developer market is typically smaller than the general consumer market or enthusiast market. So I think they needed to increase the price to accommodate for that, which does make sense. But AMD has actually started to push VR pretty heavily recently, so I'm not that surprised that they chose to target the VR market or VR consumption and developer market for this. And the next topic will show their big interest in the VR technology. So at the Capsaicin event at GDC 2016, AMD also announced their AMD powered Sulon Q. It was actually leaked before the event. The information somehow got out. This is an all-in-one AR/VR headset, which means that it has the computer powering the VR built into the headset. So it actually has a full-featured computer into there, and which features a Radeon R7 graphics. I don't know which model it is, probably like the R7 360 or maybe an integrated graphics, like an iGPU, like the APU. Other specs include the AMD FX 8800P CPU, which I don't know much about. Also the screen is a 2560 by 1440p OLED display with a field of view of 110 degrees, which is decent field of view. 256GB SSD built in and 8GB of RAM, so it comes with Windows 10 as well. So it's basically a full featured PC built into the headset. And judging from the pictures, it's pretty compact as well. So it is a very interesting product as well. It's very different from the other VR headsets like the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, which need a separate, relatively high-end PC to power them. But on the other side, it probably will be accompanied by a pretty hefty price tag. Whereas the Oculus and HTC have a price of $600 and $800 respectively, City is going for like $1,000+, but it does have a whole system built into it and a couple of advantages like not being tethered to any wires, as the actual computer is inside the headset, so that could be very convenient for some people. But I don't know if these advantages are going to be worth the potential price tag. What I know is that there are other disadvantages like the actual VR experience on an R7 GPU, which is AMD's low-end cards, so I don't know if they will deliver a relatively comparable experience to its competitors. Another thing is the potential heat coming from the system. As we all know, AMD components tend to get pretty hot, so I don't know how that's going to be, and cooling as well in such a tiny form factor. But let me know in the comments if you guys actually are interested in this AR VR headset, the AMD Pro Duo. It might be targeted at developers, but I'm sure that the PC enthusiast market will be interested in dual graphics card, and if it delivers some impressive performance, that is. And the VR headset is very interesting. You don't need a separate PC, but it could potentially be pretty expensive. So just let me know in the comments what you think about these two topics and these two products. But anyway, this is gonna be it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.